Welcome to Across the Globe. Today we will learn about basic form validation. Form validation is crucial in web development to verify user input data before processing it further. In Flask, a web framework for Python, form validation can be efficiently achieved using the Flask-WTF extension. This extension seamlessly combines the functionality of the WTForms library with Flask, enabling developers to define and validation rules on form fields. By applying form validation, developers can prevent malicious input, enhance data accuracy, and provide a better user experience. For instance, a registration form can have validation rules to check for valid email addresses or enforce password strength requirements before allowing users to submit the form. Through the Flask-WTF extension, developers can easily implement these validation checks to ensure data integrity and security in their applications. To create a simple form in Flask, start by installing Flask-WTF using pip. Then, in your Flask application, import the required modules such as Flask form, string field, submit field, and data required from WTForms. Create a form class, e.g., myForm, by subclassing Flask form and defining form fields like string field for name input and submit field for the submit button. Assign validators like data required to ensure that the fields are filled out before submission. This form structure sets the foundation for building interactive web forms in Flask. Form validation is crucial for ensuring data integrity in web applications. By checking the validity of form data upon submission, errors can be caught early to provide a smoother user experience. In the provided Python Flask snippet, the validateOnSubmit method is used to trigger form validation. If validation fails, users are redirected back to the form, equipping them with error messages to correct their input. This approach minimizes incorrect data submissions and enhances the overall usability of the application. For instance, imagine a registration form for an online platform. If a user fails to input a valid email address or leaves a required field blank, the form validation mechanism would detect these errors. The user would then be guided back to the form with specific error messages highlighting the erroneous fields. This iterative process streamlines data input and aids user understanding. In conclusion, integrating form validation in web applications, as demonstrated in the Flask example, supports data accuracy and user interaction. By promptly flagging errors and offering guidance to users, the overall user experience is enhanced. Form validation is crucial to ensure data integrity in web applications. When validation fails, error messages are essential to guide users. In Django templates, error messages can be accessed via the form.errors dictionary. To display these error messages, a loop can be utilized. First, iterate over the form.errors.items to get each field and its corresponding errors. Then, within this loop, iterate through the errors list to display individual error messages for each field. This helps in providing clear feedback to users on what went wrong during the form submission. The structured loop provided demonstrates how to achieve this in Django templates effectively, presenting error messages neatly to assist users in rectifying their inputs. Importance of form validation in Flask. A. Ensures data accuracy and conformity to specified criteria. B. Enhances user experience by providing prompt feedback on input errors. 2. Process of form validation in Flask. A. Create a form using WTForms library. B. Define validation rules using validators from WTForms. C. Perform validation on form submission. D. Display error messages for failed validations. 3. Example scenario. A. User submits a registration form with empty required fields. B. Flask validates the form and displays error messages for each empty field. C. User is prompted to fill in the required fields before resubmitting the form. IFE. Conclusion. Form validation in Flask is a crucial step in ensuring data integrity and improving user experience. It involves setting validation rules, performing validation on form submission, and displaying error messages when validation fails. Basic form validation is like checking a passport at airport security before allowing someone to board a plane. Just like how security checks the passport for key information like name, photo, and expiration date, form validation checks user input for required fields like name, email, and phone number. If any information is missing or incorrect, just like how security would deny boarding, the form validation would prompt the user to correct their input before submitting the form. Hey, Code Conquerors, ready to level up? With TechLearn ATG, showcase your skills with official course certificates. Just visit our site and start. Need that extra boost? Get tailored learning, 24/7 support, and expert guidance. Coding smarter, growing faster, and making learning fun. Go to our website across the globe, www.atg.world. The provided code demonstrates a Flask application for basic form validation. The application comprises two HTML templates, index.html and success.html. Upon accessing the root route /, the user is presented with the form fields for name, email, and phone number through the index.html template. On submitting the form via the /submit route using the post method, the entered form data is retrieved using Flask's request object. The form input values for name, email, and phone are then validated. The code checks if all fields are filled out. If any field is empty, a message asks the user to complete all fields. It verifies the email address format by checking for the presence of an @ symbol and at least one dot character. It ensures the phone number is a 10-digit numerical value. Based on the validation results, if any validation fails, the user is redirected back to index.html with an error message displayed. If all validations pass, the user is directed to the success.html template, where a success message acknowledges the submission, addressing the user by name. This code exemplifies a common real-world use case, a user registration or feedback form with basic data validation. Validating user input enhances data integrity, user experience, and system security by preventing erroneous or malicious data input. Basic form validation is critical in various industries to ensure accurate data collection and user input. Let's explore two industrial examples where basic form validation is crucial. 1. E-commerce platforms. E-commerce platforms heavily rely on form inputs for customer registrations, order placements, and payment processing. Implementing basic form validation ensures that customers provide accurate contact details, shipping addresses, and payment information. Validation rules for email addresses, phone numbers, and other essential fields help prevent errors, delays in shipping, and potential fraud. By incorporating basic form validation, e-commerce platforms can enhance user experience, minimize data entry errors, and streamline the order fulfillment process. 2. Healthcare systems. Healthcare systems utilize forms for patient registrations, appointment scheduling, medical history input, and insurance information collection. Basic form validation in healthcare applications is vital to maintain data accuracy, ensure patient safety, and comply with regulatory requirements. Validating patient details such as names, contact information, and medical records helps healthcare providers maintain accurate records, reduce errors in diagnoses and treatments, and enhance overall patient care. By implementing basic form validation, healthcare systems can improve data integrity, streamline administrative processes, and safeguard patient confidentiality. In conclusion, basic form validation plays a crucial role in various industries, including e-commerce and healthcare, by ensuring accurate data collection, enhancing user experience, and maintaining data integrity. By incorporating basic form validation practices, organizations can optimize their processes, reduce errors, and improve overall data quality. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next video.